All right. Good evening. American Hammers TV. This is American Hammers TV and Friends, AHTV and Friends. I get to pick a few of my good friends from around the world and shoot the shit with them for at least an hour, and talk West Ham. So tonight I picked Irish Tommy, who's next to me, and down below we got Charlie Boy and we got Luke. What's going on, guys?
What's going on, fellas?
Not too bad. It's burning the midnight oil.
Yeah, that's right. So you guys in the UK, man.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming on. I appreciate it. You know that. All right. So anybody in the chat room wants to follow along with what we're talking about, feel free to chime in. If you have any questions for us, feel free to pop some in there. We are going to be talking about transfers tonight and who we'd rather, I guess you'd say, at different positions, whichever we can come up with, which some of us have done research and some of us, I don't know, I tried, but it didn't work out so well. What else? Oh yeah, subscribe. That's simple. If you're watching this video, all you have to do is just click the little subscribe button. If you don't want to subscribe, well, I guess that's okay. But if you could at least just click the like button, that would be cool. Show that you like what we're doing, because we continue to put out videos almost every day. Almost, not every day, but almost. Yeah, we got some new stuff coming up. Real quick, I do have to mention that Irish Tommy, who's next to me over here, is going to be in the first semifinal match that we got going on with Friday Night Lights, which is tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. Eastern time, and that's 8:30 in the UK p.m. It's going to be Katie from Philly against Gina from Denver and Irish Tommy. So that's the first of this two semifinals, and then the following Sunday we're going to have Ian Bishop versus Alex from Mississippi and Charlie Walsh from Hammers Chat. So that should be good. Yes, so I guess we'll get into it, man. Charlie, let's start with you, man. Any particular position you want to start with tonight?
Well, I thought we was going like on the few rumors. So out of the three people that I seen, Ola and Ollie Watkins for Brentford and Matty Cash, I would go Matty Cash if I had to pick one. Yeah. But it would either be him or Watkins. But what I like about Watkins is, yeah, he could score, but it's what he was doing without the ball when I'm watching him, right? All season. He's not just hanging around getting rebounds. He's running through, bop, catching them off his head. He's hitting the lanes. He's attacking. If we matched him with Haller, it could be a very, very beautiful thing. But when I watch Matty Cash, listen, he could go forward. He's got a nice, decent dribble. He's a defensive master. And at the last minute, versus West Brom, he came through clutch with ice in his veins and the 91st minute and cracked one and broke West Brom's heart. And that was right before all this stuff. And I was like, man, I tweeted something right there. I want him, So the other guys are right back. Ola Aina, I think he's playing over there in Italy for Torino or whatever. But Nagaki, you know me, I'm Nagaki's biggest guy over
all
there.
All day. And,
so it would be Matty Cash out of those.
Cash is isn't he an outside back too? Isn't he a fullback?
I think he could play anywhere, to be honest.
Well, Matty Cash has been playing right back this season for Forest, but he was converted from right wing. They actually moved him back from the right wing and converted him to a right back.
You could even stick him in the midfield. Look, he's 6'1". Listen, he could track back. He's beautiful. He'd go forward. You could put him anywhere on the outside or in the middle, I think, to be honest.
Yeah, he can definitely play right wing if you need him to. He's a big strapping lad, really talented, really good going forward. He has a lot to recommend him, no question.
100%. So it's one of these things where the only other right back that we've really been linked with was Nathaniel Klein. So...
yeah, I mean, between the two, it's a no-brainer.
Or between the three. I mean, even Aina. I mean, I'd take Aina all day, too. But I don't know. I don't know. We might have to spend more money for Cash.
Yeah, look, Cash is going to be hot property. We're certainly not going to be the only club. If we were in for him, we would not be the only club. And
to be honest, I don't think we'd get him.
Clubs.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't think we could get him. He's that good. You could put him anywhere on the pitch, to be honest. I mean, he's that nice.
He's that good. Liverpool could easily have him as their backup.
Yeah,
easily.
I think he'd probably take that all day. Luke, what do you think of the right back situation? I guess, do we even need one? You know,
we do need one. And to be honest with you, I would sign Matty Cash just for the opportunity that in his announcement video we put "Here comes the money," Shane McMahon video, just to try and get that buzz back to the club and just, here's a new player. But yeah, we do need it. We do need a right back because Zabaleta's not gonna last much longer. He's on the verge of retirement after this season. Frederick breaks down every 2 or 3 games, which is really disappointing. And if he's as good as his big boys are saying, then it's a no-brainer. He can't be that much money either. He'll be a championship player, won't he? So he won't be cheap, but he won't be expensive either. Maybe along the lines of maybe Bowen. Maybe not as much as Bowen cost, but definitely out there.
So for Aina, it was between 8 and 13 million. So if we're thinking that Cash is going to be more expensive, we're thinking 15 million, maybe 20.
Yeah, you're talking Bowen.
He's young. He's English. He's young.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm gonna disagree a little bit here, and
All right.
it's nothing to do with the merits of Matty Cash as a player. I'm a big fan, and he would be a fantastic signing. But I think with the limited funds that we have, I don't think that's a priority position anymore. 6 months ago, I would have absolutely agreed it's a priority position. But I think with the emergence of Ngakia, who's shown that he's got a lot of talent and a big future for us, I really like Ngakia.
Yeah.
He's been very impressive. And Johnson, I know he's kind of not forgotten exactly, but Ngakia is the flavour of the month because he played so well in those 3 games he was involved in. But the fact of the matter is, in my opinion, that Ben Johnson is a better player than Ngakia even. So I think we've got 2 very, very nice young right backs. And fucking
no one.
So given that we won't have a huge amount to spend, I just don't think it's a position we need to be spending 20-odd million on.
No, you're right.
As much as I love Matty Cash, I just don't think it's a priority anymore.
I think we're good with Ngakia. I am, and if we could get Ben Johnson, get his mindset right, get him healthy. I think a lot of his injuries, like the calf muscle, the twisted ankle, the whatever. It's all like these injuries where his head's not in it. I mean, he wouldn't be having these injuries. I think they're, I hate to say fake injuries, but a lot of players were doing that. Like even Nasri last year when he was with us, those calf injuries were bullshit. He just didn't want to play. It's what it is. So I don't know. I would like to see Ben Johnson be the backup, be the number 2. I'd like to see us get a little bit of cash for Fredericks to some League One or Championship club, and because I fucking how I feel about
Johnson. Johnson wouldn't necessarily be backup. I mean, Johnson is very, very talented. I think pre-season you say, look, one of you is going to be right back, and have at it, and then let them.
It could be both sides. It could be. He could, Cresswell could get break down again, and then Johnson ends up on the left. And then you got Ngakia on the right. Could end up like that. At least a couple games next season.
Well, I do think we need to sign a left back. I think that is one of our priority positions.
Left back. Have you? I mean, I haven't heard of any that have been linked with left back.
No links. I haven't heard of any links.
I haven't heard any. Not for left back.
I would. I would love Jamal Lewis from Norwich. He's got a huge future ahead of him. He's a real proper modern day left back. Really good going forward. But he's also good defensively, very energetic. He's got pace. He can get up and down that wing. He'd be a brilliant signing. But I don't think that's on the cards because it doesn't look like this time that probably anybody will be relegated. But I was talking about Jamal Lewis in terms of, the Norwich being a championship team next season, that we would have a good chance to get him if we went after him. But that may have all changed.
Yeah. Again, this is all moot. We got to figure out what the hell is going to happen with this season and also next season before we get all excited about these transfers.
Look, we don't even know if we're going to have. We don't even know if we're going to have transfer funds. We're still going to have to pay for Souček. So.
Oh boy, this motherfucker Wally.
Speaking of paying, I got to get Wally's envelope ready for the fix on Friday Night Lights for my twin there.
Oh, yeah.
Wally, I got you, Walooch.
That's and so next Sunday, can't wait. Charlie's in the chat room, Wally's in there too, and it should be good. We also have a new game show coming out. So we have Friday Night Lights. That was our first one, which we're going to continue after this season's over. After this whole tournament, we're going to do season 2 of Friday Night Lights again, back on Friday nights, which will be nice. And we're going to have new people mixed with some of our previous guests and so on. And if anyone's interested, reach out to us if you're interested in joining the next season of Friday Night Lights. We also have a new trivia show called Hammer Shots that is going to start. We're going to do a dry run this week. A house show per se, and see how it goes, and then push it out the following week with Adam from West Ham is Why We Drink. He's going to host it. Well, there you go. Is that the check?
Make sure twin wins, Wall. Hey, I got you. Told you. Made it right now.
So I guess this is another one that keeps coming up, and we'll talk about this, I guess. So everybody knows how I feel. A lot of people think they know how I feel about Fabianski. So this is the truth. This is how I actually feel about Fabianski. Listen, when he's healthy, he's a very good goalkeeper, and I really appreciate everything that he's done for us. Okay, that's great. But he had a serious injury in his hip, man, and hip injuries for goalkeepers, I'll say it a million times, are not good injuries for goalkeepers, especially over 30. And when we're talking about not just 31, 32, 30, we're talking 34 years old now. He doesn't heal as quickly as he used to. I mean, sure, he's in better fitness than I am, so maybe he can. I don't know. But what I'm saying is the likelihood of him being 100% all the time from now on, or not only that, but just like favoring maybe that hip, that's not a position that you want someone favoring their hip or thinking about that. It's like Lanzini with his injury. He comes back, he's favoring his leg, and so on. Well, we don't need that in our goalkeeper position. That's how goals happen, So my point is, we don't need a replacement per se right now. What we need is a solid number 2 who can compete for the number 1 position, that if he gets hurt again, we don't have a repeat of what happened with Roberto. Listen, I understand that Randolph is not as bad as Roberto, but he's fucking bad. He's not a number 2 goalkeeper. And same thing with David Martin. He can do a good game or 2 in a run of 6 probably, but he's not doing 6 amazing shutouts. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen. I'm just telling you. He'll get exposed. He's not that type of keeper. So anyway, that is how I feel about that. So anyway, has anybody heard of any other goalkeepers that we might be linked with? Is it a good idea to look for a number 2? I mean, I'm not saying spend out, 15, 20 million on another number 1. We don't need that. I know that. But if we have the cash to buy a solid number 2, that's better than Randolph or Martin or whoever, should we go for it? Let's start with and then go around clockwise.
100%. We definitely need somebody who will actually put some heat on Fabianski, I think, for that jersey. I think your backup should be a very good keeper as well. Before talking about potential signings, I think Pellegrini really, really missed a trick last summer. We could have had a very, very good backup keeper with plenty of Premier League experience, who could have pushed Fabianski for that jersey. At the beginning of last summer, at the end of the season, Tottenham released Michel Vorm, who was their backup keeper. He's a Dutch keeper. He's a very, very good keeper. He's a really great shot stopper. And we should have snapped him up on a free transfer immediately. He was in London already, settled there, looking for a club. And as it turned out, Tottenham ended up re-signing him.
Yeah.
So he's still at Tottenham, but he would have been a fantastic backup. So we really missed out on Michel Vorm. But as regards signing keepers, I haven't seen us linked with anyone. So again, I don't think we're going to be signing a keeper this summer. But I think if we do, it should be someone who's young, who's talented, is up and coming. I mentioned to you guys pre-show, there's a 25-year-old lad, Samba, at Derby County, who looks like he's a tremendous young goalkeeper. He's been absolutely superb for them this season. He doesn't seem to have a weakness He's great coming out for crosses. He's a great shot stopper. His decision making is very good. Commands his area. He's been so impressive. He's been a massive part of Derby County's season. So someone like that would be ideal.
We before we go to Luke, listen, I'm not saying, again, see, people keep saying I'd rather not spend that money, blah, 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 on a goalkeeper. And again, I don't think we probably will. Like you and a lot of people in the chat room are saying, the deal is that I think that we should, though. And I'm not saying that we should spend money that spend money that would go towards something else that we need. I'm saying if we have the money, we should definitely be looking. Listen, if we had a scouting system, there are hundreds of thousands. I mean, there's tens of thousands of goalkeepers on this planet. If you think about it, you know what I'm saying? Like, of all the whole world, you're telling me you can't find somebody better than Darren Randolph for like 4 or 5 million? I mean, or even up to 8 million. I'd cap it at that, as a backup. I mean, you're telling me you can't find anybody in this whole planet? That's what I'm saying. I mean, if you had a system,
actually, the one link we did see, if you remember, horrified us was Karius.
Oh, that's well, that's just someone reading the headlines from 3 months ago, and I don't know, or just looking at Liverpool's roster and saying, okay, well, who's number 4 or 5 on their depth chart? Let's pick them. Luke,
you know what could be another option? And sorry, Luke, I'm rambling a little bit. I promise I'll shut up after this.
No, mate, don't worry about it.
With how brilliantly Dean Henderson is doing at Sheffield United. Now, I don't think Man United are going to be willing to sell him because he's so good. I think they'll see him as a natural replacement for De Gea. So if they recall him to United for next season to be the number 2, we could do an awful lot worse than Man United's current backup keeper, Romero. He's a really good keeper. He's experienced. He's an international. They used him a lot in the Europa League. And in domestic cups, when they were resting De Gea, and every time he played, he looked really, really good. So that could potentially be a player United would be willing to release.
I'm just saying, all I'm saying is, and Luke, I want you to get into this, is that there's got to be somebody better than Darren Randolph, dude. Come on. Darren fucking Randolph.
Look, everyone knows the only reason why we got Randolph back was because
we owed the money.
Basically, it was a free transfer because the money that we were about to pay out for him was already contractually obliged by Middlesbrough. So we basically just went, just come back. And Middlesbrough went, that's fine, that's all right. I don't think personally, unless we're gonna, if we go up for a goalkeeper, we go up for a young, upcoming goalkeeper. I don't care if they're poor for a year just to get under. We got a keeper like Nathan Trott on loan at the moment. But unfortunately for me, he's at League One. And I think, well, if we're going to loan someone out, you loan them to the very least is the Championship. At least it's that level just below the Premier League, but the physicality will still be there. But
which is what should happen next season. Yes, Nathan Trott should be on Championship next season.
Yeah, and if not, fine with us in the Cup. Well, he's going to play top level football if he's going to be with us at some point. You've got David Martin at the club who I love. He's probably not very good enough long term. He's probably, he's played a couple of games, not looked terrible, to be honest with you. He's not looked brilliant, but he's not looked terrible. And I think that the defenders were quite relaxed actually when he was in goal. He made a mistake, but then Balbain made the mistake. Hasn't been very good this season either. So
exactly, he's my number 2 right now. I mean, over Randolph. That suggestion of Romero from Man United is quite a good suggestion actually, because I've not heard much about him, but then he's not had many chances to convince Man United fans that he could be anything more than up to. But if he came to us, maybe it'd be different. But for me personally, you either give Nathan Trott a chance up and coming, or you go out and buy a decent goalkeeper. Say, look, Fabianski, it ain't all on you. Because all we've done really is once Fabianski's been injured, going, quick, when's he going to be fit again? Quick, get him back in goal, get him back in goal. To rush him back in,
And Fabianski, if this could as much as it's for us, it's like, there's no football and whatever that. This might actually be the best thing for a few of our players because they've actually got time off now to, recover from their injuries. Whereas, we're not rushing them back quite so often. But for me, I don't really need to rush in the transfer market for a goalkeeper. If we do, it's got to be clever. Got to be clever. We got to be clever about it. So.
Well, you should be able to pick up a keeper. It's one of the easier positions to fill, really. There's usually a few keepers floating about.
There's only one keeper, fellas. There's only one keeper. I got I've been thinking. We got it all figured out.
All right. Jack
Butlin, right? With a name like Butlin, cheeky saves. Listen, Butlin, cheeky saves all day long.
Cheeky
it's
saves.
When your name's Butlin, you're making cheeky saves. He's 6'5", 27, bop, blocking everything. Get him in.
Well, again, he's also quite a good-looking fella as well. So big ups for the ladies out there. And
he's better than anything that we get right now. Again, my eyes, whatever. We'll move on from this because everybody's getting pissed off in the chat room. Get about goalkeepers. They're saying we shouldn't be talking about this. But listen, my point is, again, anybody in the chat room seriously think about this? And you guys too. Are you telling me that Fabianski is gonna play a full season next season? Without getting hurt again, especially he's not getting any younger. He's already had that injury, blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying he's going to get hurt again. We're going to need someone else to jump in there. And the odds would be is that we'd have Nathan Trotter or somebody or Darren Randolph, and they'd have to go up against Leicester again. Or even Leicester's B squad. Darren Randolph proved he couldn't handle that. And you're talking if he gets Nathan Trotter goes up against City or goes up against Leicester or goes up against Sheffield, a tough team, a physical team. I mean, he's gonna get his fucking morale, his whole everything will be crushed, and then all the fans will be booing him, and then he's gone. His career's over because he lost it mentally. We threw him to the wolves because.
Could you say that for Ngakia and when he got touched?
It wasn't my decision to put him out there to begin with, but he handled it well. How often does that happen? Yes, Ben Johnson did it. He did okay against City last year. But then look what happened. He couldn't even get fit. He couldn't even get it back in the squad. He can't even get in the freaking reserve squad. He keeps getting hurt all the time. Again, so it doesn't happen that often where someone gets thrown to the wolves and they're awesome. I mean, Ngaki is a special case, and those are the type of people that we need to make sure that they stay starting. He keeps his attitude up. He stays happy, and so on. So let's everybody keeps talking that we need just a right back, a left back, a center mid, and maybe a striker.
A backup right where they don't like Ngeki? What's going on? That's my guy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we've got Ngeki and Johnson. We just don't. They're both very, very talented young players. I'd rather see them.
See, here's my thing.
Duke it out.
Listen, if we got Cash, this is my thing with Cash. We could throw him at the right. We could throw him right back. We could throw him at the mid. We could throw him up there at the wing. Man could play every position. I said we get him just because he plays whatever here, whatever there. His size and defense and going forward, I think I would put him in the middle personally. But I'm not a coach or anything, so what the hell do I know? I miss him by 20 yards in Sunday league.
Well,
so what the hell do I know?
Charlie really loves Cash, and I understand why. So I'll throw you a little bone here, Charlie.
Give me a bone there, Tommy.
What you could do is sign Cash to play on the right wing and move Bowen up top, and then you don't need to buy a striker.
Now we're cooking with grease. Now we're cooking with grease, Tommy. I like that.
But nobody in the club has brains like that, though. You know what I'm saying? We come up with all these clever ideas all the time, and people on like Luke over there in Irons United and all those people too, and even Charlie, with Hammer's Chat and all them. We come up with all these clever ideas all the time. They never fucking do it. You know what I mean? But that's a brilliant idea. I mean, that to me is obvious. So that should be let's push Bowen up.
Money on Scout. All this money on Scout. All you got to do is go on YouTube and just look. Easy.
People, I'm telling you, they should hire us. They should hire all of us right now. We'll do a damn better job. So we're about the halfway point. So here's what I wanted to do. We've been linked with strikers over the last 3-4 weeks, maybe even a little bit more than that. I'd say within the last 2 months we've been linked with at least 6 different strikers. Let's sift through them, and I will name them all first, and then we'll sift through them and tell me if you heard of anybody different even that you might like better, or do we even need one at all. I know the chat room's going to go bananas because we're not talking about whatever we're talking about, whatever they don't want us to talk about. So anyway, the most expensive And probably the best one on the top of the list here is oh geez, got a notification that we're doing our show right now. Sardar Azmoun, okay, the Iranian Messi. There's also, we were linked with Fashion Sakala, Olivier Giroud again for the fucking umpteenth time.
Oh, fuck.
He's going to be a free transfer in the summer, so we're linked with him again. Marco Arnautovic, just because of some stupid comment he made on I think it was the fucking dipshit Masuaku's Instagram or something like that. Josh Maja, or Maha, whatever the fuck Maja, I think his name is, from yeah, that idiot. He scores goals in League One, whatever. And then Alexis Sanchez, the other idiot. So,
don't we all?
Exactly. I mean, dude.
I would not want Sanchez.
Just throw me out there, coach. Come on. Put me in League One. I'll be fine.
I think manager should have to go back to Sunderland with his fucking tail between his legs.
All right, so you got Sanchez, Maja, Arnautovic, Giroud, Sakala, Azmoun. Let's start with Charlie and go backwards this time. You heard of any of them? I mean, do you want any of them? Do we need any of them? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. You have the floor.
Me, I would stay home. I wouldn't take none of them guys. I'd take Ollie Watkins from Brentford. Yeah, because you want to know why? I watched that league. You know what I mean? I watched that one and boom, and I watch boom, boom. I watch both of them back and forth, and I'm always betting on them. So, and like I said, what I love about him is without the ball. Forget about bashing in the goals, bing, bing. I'm talking about what he did without the ball, running the lanes, catching it in stride, cracking them with his feet, either foot. He's quick. He's like 5'11". He's got what? I wrote it down. Hold on. Wait a second. He's got 22 goals. 22 goals in 30-something games. So, you know what I mean?
Second only to Mitrovic in the league.
Yeah, so he was cracking them in.
That's a thing.
Every kind of way.
Jazz, every single show that we're on, Jazz always throws out Mitrovic.
That's a good shout too. That's a good shout too. I just like Ollie Watkins, man. With the speed and how he attacks the holes is beautiful.
He's got a better head on his shoulder. He's better attitude too.
It's the timing, the timing of his runs too. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's beautiful.
Yeah. Funnily enough, Charlie, he's another converted player. He's initially Brentford had him playing on the left wing, and he was absolutely fantastic for them out on that left wing.
You see, I got that vision for a moving player. You see what I'm saying? They gotta just listen. Matty Cash, midfield or wing, make it happen. They don't listen to me. Oh,
no, Watkins would be a fantastic signing. There's no question about that. I mean, you put him up top with Haller, you know, I think that could be really dynamic and should get us a lot of goals.
Oh boy, these people. Anyway, Luke.
Oh, just.
This is the suggestions. Ollie Watkins, I've heard a little bit about, but I've heard more and a great deal more in the last 20 minutes from Charlie.
You played
or FIFA? It's brilliant because all you hear is Ollie Watkins, Brentford, West Ham are after him. Well, it could be any fucker. We're after everyone. But at least, you know, at least Charlie's watched him and knows all about him. So if he did get him, at least there's someone who listens about. Mitrovic is a massive shout. I've liked him since he was at Fulham and Newcastle. He was basically what I considered to be. So we got rid of Carroll, who was injury prone and all the rest of it. He'd been a fantastic replacement for him. He's still only about 24, and he's 24, 25, something like that.
Yeah, 24.
He's got ages left in him. He wouldn't be that expensive. I'd love to have Mitrovic as well. And it's the nightmares you get at West Ham for strikers is the fact that either they're going to be shit or they're going to leave after they start to get form. And Arnautovic can fuck off. He made his bed and has got to lie in it wherever he wants to do. We've always been linked with strikers because this is what the owners always like to do, right? So when there's a pattern that emerges since they took over the club, all they do is go, we're signing this player, this high profile player, this player, and they're always strikers. And the reason why is they want to try and get the fans to go, oh, this guy's going to score goals, we're going to win every game and this and that. But we never actually go, no, we've got to get a defence and a midfield sorted so they can supply the strikers, because it doesn't matter who you got up front. If we haven't got a team that can supply them with the assists, they're going to struggle. And we've not had a striker on our team who's, you know, unless it was Arnautovic, but he fucked off. you know, who's had good service from West Ham. So if we do sign a striker, they've got to be fucking good because they're going to be on their own doing a lot of work. They're not going to be. They can't just be standing in that box waiting for the ball to come into them because it ain't going to happen. And you know, you've seen with Pala this season that he's struggled without a partner. So yeah, I'd love Mitrovic. I'd love Mitrovic to be fair.
So here's the arguments that keep coming up about that is that the things I keep seeing in the chat room and also comments on Twitter, which everybody knows how much I love Twitter. It's we don't need another striker. We have Antonio, or we don't need another striker. We have, you know, Yarmolenko, which I was part of that train until I started to think about how many. I mean, he's just another Andy Carroll. He's going to get hurt again. Poor guy. I mean, when he's fit, he's a dynamo. I love Yarmo. But same thing with Antonio. I mean, again, it's a similar situation. Guy can't play more than 60. If he does play 90, he's, I don't know, man. He doesn't play the whole 90. He doesn't. He huffs and puffs, and he's got he looks like The Rock, man. If you ever look at his muscles, I'm telling you, it's crazy. But yeah, my point is that we don't need another striker. We got all these other people. We got Jared Bowen that we can convert, or whatever the case may be. Because if you have Antonio right, then you can push Bowen in, or you have a Yarmolenko and you can push Bowen up top. We don't need a striker. That's what I can still see people talking shit about it right now in the chat room. So that said, Arnie, man. I mean, so you say F no to Arnie, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you other guys? Tommy first.
But Arnautovic?
Yeah.
No, don't want him back.
You don't think he'll score
like
goals for us?
Yeah, I'm sure he will score some goals, but I just don't think he's a profile of player we need to be signing. Okay. You know, remember, Tim, your bean counter. Get your bean counter out, Tim. He's 31, then he'll be 32, then he'll be 33, right? So, yeah, look, he's getting older. His star is going to be on the wane. There's no question. You know, strikers once they get past 30, they really are on the downhill. Plus, I just don't like the guy. I have a long memory, Tim, and you know, the way he acted was disgraceful.
Yeah, sure.
He had a good thing going. You know, he had a good thing going at West Ham. He was playing every week. He was playing well, scoring goals. Fans loved him. And still he acted like that. Him and that little fucking snake brother of his, Daniel. They wanted their money in China, so let them fucking go have their money in China. I don't want them back at West Ham. If we're going to get a forward, it needs to be a young, hungry, talented, ambitious forward. Not bringing back that snake.
He's just that bastard that I know for a fact that we say no to him. We don't want him back. The fans don't want him back. He's going to sign with the Premier League team, and then he's going to score every fucking time he plays against us. He's going to be that dickhead. Guarantee it. Yeah. And this thing is, he wasn't even a striker till he came with us, you know, and I still don't even think he is a striker. I think he's a winger. That's what he was trained to do, and that's what he is. But whatever. I'm not saying that I want him. I'm 50-50. I mean, if we signed him, I wouldn't say, oh, shit, here's my West Ham card. You know what I mean? Like, I'd say, shit, all right, well, the guy better score some goals, you know, and he better behave, that type of deal. But at the same time, I'm not saying sign him. I'm saying if we did, I wouldn't be opposed, I guess, to it 100%, as long as he scored goals. Anyway, Charlie Arnautovic.
Nah, I ain't getting him back. Listen,
tell him, Charlie.
I don't give a shit if he was 25 years old. And I'm gonna tell you why right now. He didn't leave to go to his family in Austria. He left for money. And where to go to China? Who the fuck goes to China? Like, oh, hey, they're gonna see me on Sports Center on the highlights. I'm gonna have no. He got the big money. It wasn't no glory. Right, Payet, at least you could say Payet went back to his home country. Maybe he was homesick. This fucker just left for the money. But this is the number one reason. When he left, remember that little video, the fans, he went complaining. I got to do everything by myself. You ain't no fucking man. What, you left your balls in your car? Or where your balls at? You threw everybody under the bus. He knew the person was recording. You know? Oh, I do everything. Me. But you know what? Me. Fuck off to China and go suck on some bat soup. You know? That's where you want to go. You got your money saved up. Bam! They hit him with that fee too. Of course, now you want to come back because they got sickness and they got the fucking fee with the foreign players. Oh, I think I'd like to come back.
Tim, listen, man.
No.
If you're with some girl that you're really into and you really love this girl, and then she says, "Oh, this fucking hot guy just wants to date me, so I'm away."
Ugly guy,
Cheerio.
he's got money.
And then 6 months because this guy's got money and handsome and all that, and then a year later they come back and say, "Oh, this motherfucker's got herpes. I need to." Can I come back to you? Can I come back to you? Can I come back now?
Herpes, man.
Slam that you slam that fucking door in her face.
Yeah, that's
Fuck
right.
out of here.
Break her nose, man. Jesus Christ. Oh God, I'm crying. Oh man.
Yeah, get in there, Tommy.
See, before we started the show, just me and Tommy.
So what we're trying to say is, Arnie's a whore.
We wouldn't have. I mean, I was saying, shit, we're not gonna have fucking fun tonight, man. It's gonna be so. We were supposed to have a topic. It's not gonna happen. And Tommy was like, dude, it's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be balls. It's gonna be awesome. And sure enough, it's great. God, I haven't cried on the show ever. So thank you, Tommy. That was fucking hilarious. Now, what was the other one? Oh yeah, the Iranian Messi. That's the other one I wanted to get your opinions on. Has anybody ever heard of this guy?
Is there such a thing?
I'm not gonna be a jerk off and be, oh, let's sign this guy because I some little.
No one's ever heard of him.
No, I've seen little flicks. If it's talking about the dude that dribbles, you know what I'm saying, with a nice dribble, but I don't watch the game. I don't know how it would help us out.
Yeah,
I can't even talk about the dude. I never heard of him. Haven't seen him.
I watch you know what I mean? I watch our guys and I watch the guys below us. I ain't got time for all that shit. Sometimes I bet on Italian league or something, but
I'd rather Eze from QPR, frankly.
Yeah, but I mean, again, him and Bellingham are two of the hottest commodities in the championship because of their age and their unreal skill. Not goal scoring, machines, but like they're technically phenomenal, just super gifted. Those are the type of guys that'll go to friggin', PSG, Real, friggin' Man U, clubs with endless.
I don't know. I don't think they'll go straight there.
You don't think
they will have? No, I think there'll have to be an intermediary step for them. I don't think that Eze will go from QPR to PSG. I think he'll have to cut his teeth with a mid-range club like a West Ham or an Everton or say a Newcastle or something like that. He'll have to cut his teeth somewhere, I think, and prove it that he can do it at a better level. I think before the really big teams would really come sniffing.
Yeah, were you that intermediary step, or I mean, what do you think?
Yeah, 100%. I mean,
think there's other clubs that might have a better shot, bigger pockets, because they're going to be expensive, no?
I don't think you're ever going to pay huge money for any championship player, to be honest, because it's a championship. That's the asterisk, right? Yes, you look very, very good. You look very talented in the championship. But the Premier League is a whole different thing. Can you do it against Liverpool, Arsenal, Chelsea, United, City, all these? Can you do it week in, week out against really, really good sides? And that's where these players really show what their worth is. So I think these players will have to take an intermediary step. Now, obviously, we wouldn't be the only club looking at them. There would be competition for their signings, but certainly we'd be in the range of club that would be looking to bring them in, I would think.
Yeah. Jesus Christ! I just saw that. There was another link that I missed on the right back situation in Bouna Sarr. Fucking that would never happen.
From the French league?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd take him all day, but I don't think we'd ever get someone from, Marseille, a starter anyway. You think so?
Yeah, it's only Marseille. He ain't the top.
It's only Marseille.
Yeah. Don't underestimate the Premier League pull, Tim.
Yeah.
In the context of it, yeah. What is it? Was he a striker? Is he a fullback? Or is he
right back?
Right back. Yeah. If you offer him enough money, they'll come.
The thing you have to understand is that, the French league, it's a good league and there's some very good players there, some decent teams. but it's not thought of in anything like the same terms as a Premier League. So if you're a young player, like I assume that Sarr is young, he's kind of still making his way up in the game.
Yeah.
So for a young, ambitious player like that, if you want to be in the shop window, to eventually, hopefully make that move that you're hoping for to a major club, Premier League is the biggest shop window there is.
It says that West Ham are reportedly interested in another Marseille star the next transfer window, which is Bouna Sarr, because David Moyes will be looking to do most of his business in the Championship and Ligue 1, as he targets young, hungry players desperate to prove themselves in the Premier League, which is what you're saying. West Ham have already been linked with a host of Marseille players, but yeah, this particular one is we've been linked with Sanson, Boubacar Kamara, and Tovin, apparently, in the past. Not saying we're just right this second, but this particularly next window, we're looking at that right back. So I don't know. Again, it's fucking, who knows how true this is, but whatever. It's a nice thought.
Sounds like they just linking us with all the Marseille players.
They were doing that with Liverpool for a while, with Lovren and Marius, and
we just took Marseille's midfield and back line and everybody right now.
Well, can you imagine being Liverpool Marseille? I mean, half Liverpool, half Marseille. That'll be fucking insane. That's really. Anybody else have any other burning desires that you want to fucking mention about any transfers you think we should get or what we shouldn't do, or I don't know?
Trying to think now, who would I like. I'll tell you, I've been harping on for a while, so I may as well throw it in there. I don't think we're not linked. Don't think it's happening or anything like that. It's just a player. You have players that you just really, really like.
And you think
yeah, exactly. And you just think could really, really improve the team. I'm realistic. I'm not talking Kevin De Bruyne here, obviously. But I'm a huge fan of Abdoulaye Doucouré at Watford. That guy is an absolute monster. Every time I watch Watford, like I'm keeping a particular eye on him. I mean, he's huge. He's tall, really strong, technically very good. Huge engine. The guy just goes up and down the pitch all day long. He's got a decent shot on him, good passer of the ball. He doesn't mind the physical stuff. Just as an all-round midfield box-to-box player, I just think Doucouré is absolutely fantastic. I think he's capable of playing, no disrespect intended, for a much better club than Watford. Capable of playing for a much better club than us. But I would love Doucouré. He would be brilliant.
He'd be like the new Kouyaté, wouldn't he? In that team.
He'd be like Kouyaté, except just way better. Yeah.
Except just way better. I kind of miss Kouyaté sometimes, man. When he had some good games for us, man. Some really, really good games. And,
he did. He fell off. He just fell off.
Hey, was he up against Moncur in the poll?
He was. He was on our Twitter poll. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's a hard one.
It is. Apparently, the stats were in Kouyaté's favor, but again, I mean, it doesn't really matter. I guess.
And 35 less games.
Yeah, which is awesome. But I don't know. Some people hold playing more games for the club. I don't know.
But it's more than just you know what I mean, goals and assists. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
there's a whole lot more.
Can't really judge on that. But I mean, shit, we'll take them. We'll take the goals and the assists that he had. So
he was a great guy. He was very popular. Really
try to
good
get him on the show,
and
but his English isn't that good.
But the team Moncur played on was fucking loaded, super loaded.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Then what was it, like 97, 98, somewhere? They finished like fifth. No?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Kouyaté played with Allardyce's crew, so for the most part. So Aki, that's another one that's been popped up in a few of our other shows.
Guy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Who are we going back? Who are we going back and forth with? Aki or so and so, and everybody. It was like 50-50 in the chat room. I can't remember who we were talking about. We were linked with two different guys at that position, and everybody was like, Aki, no Aki. Man,
I think there was all in. I think they were debating whether they'd prefer Ake or Tyrone Mings, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Mings, that's it.
Yeah.
Mings. Yeah. Well, that's no brainer. Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I know. I'm just kidding. I'm fucking around. But anybody in the chat room have any people that they want us to talk about or any questions for us? We got about 10 minutes left, so say something. Let's get Shelby. Fuck off. Let's get Shelby, guys.
I'd like Shelby.
You would like Shelby?
I think he's an underrated player. I really do. I think when he come, I think the last time we played Newcastle, he absolutely bossed it for Newcastle in the midfield. He was all over us. We didn't know what to do.
Didn't he get that assist over the top too for one of their goals? And we played that ball over the top in behind.
Lobbed it. Yep.
Yeah. And he also scored the free kick. I know Roberto was in goal, but he also scored a free kick as well. I just think when you watch Newcastle games, they give him the ball and he just sprays it about. And this is the problem: is that when you get someone like Noble, who he could step in and take over from, you just need someone to sometimes just give him the ball and he'll just pop it in the box. You don't need. Sometimes you just need it. You just need someone to go right. Let's not keep trying to make a dozen passes to get to goal. Let's just pop it in there and see what happens. Or someone like Haller would be. Him and Haller would be fantastic all day. Every single game, you could just see Shelby in the middle of the park, popping the ball into the box. Haller's there, brings the ball down, scores a goal. I'd love Shelby personally. I'm a massive fan of his.
I've never had a problem with Shelby. He's always been good wherever he's been. It's one of those things where there's been multiple times where we've put in offers for him which were never met, and so on. We try, but here's the other thing. Now he's getting older too. He's not getting any younger. He's at $70K a week over there in Newcastle. Obviously, when you go to a new club, your salary goes up usually when you sign transfer. So I don't think it would be like 71,000. I think he'd probably ask for like 80, 90K a week.
How old is Shelby now? We've been linked with him for the past few seasons.
I reckon he's 26. I don't think he's that old.
Is he? I thought he was in his I thought he was pushing 30.
No, I think he's 27. I think.
About 27. I think he's that old.
This fucking bastard.
Yeah. No, he's a decent player, Shelby. I do like him. Yeah, I wouldn't be upset at all.
I think he gets the bad rap. I think he gets bad because when he was at Swansea, he got a few glory goals and everyone think, yeah, he's not that old. That's like a perfect prime age for him.
I wouldn't want to be paying much for him.
But he didn't pay for nowadays. That's the problem.
Yeah.
This is, and unfortunately, we've got owners who aren't going to be giving us shed loads of cash. So unfortunately, Moyes is having to go to the Championship and buy hungry players, young players, because he doesn't got the choice to go to other teams in the league and across Europe to try and buy this player and that player. He's got to rely on buying players like Jared Bowen from Hull, who aren't bad players, but they're not. They shouldn't be someone the club's going, this is going to be the player to take us to the next level. A, it's ridiculous amount of pressure on Bowen himself, and B, it's like, hold on, he's a Championship lad. We're a Premier League club. Why are we buying a player from the lower leagues to try and save our season?
I just think maybe I don't know. So he's 28 now. I say 4 years time, he's going to be a Joe Allen. I mean, I think I don't know. When the midfield usually gets about 32, I mean, I don't know. That's usually what happens. Real quick,
and you never know. It might not be beyond the bounds possibility because if this takeover happens at Newcastle, they could Newcastle could have a fire sale. They get taken over. They'll be completely revamping that squad. But if we were going to take someone from up there, I would take Lascelles at centre back. He's really good.
This is on the theme of a few of our other shows recently, asking about.
I'm going to say sardines and pineapple. Honestly, pineapple pizza. I'm a pro pineapple on pizza person, and I love a fish pizza as well. So
sardines fucking stink.
They do fucking stink.
Yeah, but they're quite tasty though. They're quite tasty.
All right.
I can eat them, but Jesus.
Charlie Walsh never should ask. Thanks for that one. He's fucking.
Listen,
just like Charlie Boy said the other night. I mean, there is no wrong fucking choice. Anybody can have whatever they want in their pizza. So It's your pizza. That's good. Like I cannot have anything without bacon on it, man. So I have
that's well.
pepperoni. I keep it simple. I don't do meat lovers because that gets a little too crazy. I just want to be able to enjoy the fucking pizza.
I did want to say this. I've seen this come up again actually recently. It's not the first time. I think a couple of weeks ago it was mentioned. I saw it mentioned again this weekend. This possible deal where Anderson would be going back to Lazio and would be taking Lozano. So I'd be interested to hear what you guys think of that.
Charlie, you want to start with that?
Lozano plays for Napoli, don't he?
Yeah.
Napoli, sorry. I said Lazio. Napoli, excuse me.
Napoli, yeah.
Yeah.
You trade, no?
I don't know. I don't know about no player for player. You know, Lozano, I don't know, man. I don't know if I would do that. I'd hold out for money to where we could get the guy that we want to get and let Moyes scout him. Unless, if Moyes says, hey, you know what? He could get a cross in. I need him flying down the wing. I mean, that's where he's going to play at. He can attack, but I don't know. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't touch it. I'd keep Anderson and hold out for money.
Luke.
I'm not ready to let go of Anderson. Yeah, I still think he's got more to offer. The problem is I don't get this whole thing of him not tracking back. Why do our attacking players need to come back all the time? Why were we obsessed with he's lazy, don't do anything? Well, he doesn't need to do anything. He's a skillful player. Give him the ball, tell him to go forward and beat players, which he does, and he did in his first season. He's not had a great season this season. I'll admit, but he's had a few injury problems and stuff like that. But generally, when he plays and he gets the ball, you kind of go, he's going to do something. And he doesn't always do something. Sometimes he loses the ball and stuff like that. But when he's played, especially when he's played a few times, almost up front or in the central attacking midfield role, he's been everywhere. He's been chasing after the ball. He's been trying to track back, tackling players. And if you look at his stats, he's actually one of the hardest working players in the team. And I think we bought the guy for over 40 million. Unless we're going to get the same money back or more, given the fact that he's not aging, he's still mid-20s. Then I don't see why we're so eager to let him go. Unless of course it's more this. But has been told you've got to raise funds to buy more players. He's going, I've got Anderson here, that's 50 million, and that's 2 players in the championship. Unless that's the way of thinking, I don't know. But
this guy's technically a winger, this fucking Lozano guy. He's Mexican international, scored 10 goals in 39 appearances for Mexico, the top team. Started his career in Pachuca, Mexico, 31 goals, 123 appearances. Then he went to PSV and scored 34 and 60, and that's what got him the deal over in Napoli, where he scored just 2 goals in just 16 appearances. I don't see where this Pablo Barrera type decides to I don't know where the weight comes from in this. Where's the beef for this deal? Other than the fact he's 24 and he's an international. What I don't understand why they are getting off on offering a trade deal. Him for Anderson. Anderson has done way more for us than he's done for Napoli.
If he was so nice and he's younger, why the fuck wouldn't they keep him? Why would they want our guy? You see what I'm saying? Obviously they think, and you know what I mean?
So the deal is that it's mainly because he was reportedly signed to Napoli for 42 million euro, which made him the most expensive Mexican signing in the history of fucking mankind. So he's got these titles, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, what's he really done?
Yeah, I wouldn't do a straight swap. It would have to be a part exchange. It'd have to be cash plus Lozano.
Yeah,
and they'd have to figure that out if they wanted Lozano. But
so would you?
I don't know a huge amount about him.
Would you guys take cash plus Lozano down below? Charlie or Luke?
Depends on how much cash. I mean, it would have to be a lot of cash. Because I think Anderson is gonna, with Bowen, it's gonna be different. He's gonna have more options. There's gonna be more poetry on the field. There's gonna be more give and go. There's gonna be more attack. You know what I'm saying? You can't go to war and attack nothing with no weapons. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I wouldn't get rid of him for Lozano. And no, if they put him a lot of money, I'd think about it. But they ain't gonna give us no money.
The fuck is this, TJ? Blue cheese with American on your burger, man?
The TJ needs his hard drive checking.
Come on,
That's
TJ.
disgraceful.
Come on, TJ. Shit. Well, who was it? Matt Jarvis was on the other day and said that he wanted, he tried, someone on the team showed him to do, I guess, eggs. So he had toast, peanut butter, and then put his eggs on it and ate that before every match. And it became a thing. I guess, Joey O'Brien, somebody else was doing it, Mark Noble or something like that. So he ended up doing it, which sounded really weird and then it being delicious. So I don't know, maybe that burger will be delicious, but I will never try that because I don't do blue cheese, bro. But whatever. Anyway. Yeah, anybody else have anything you want to say before we leave?
No, I don't have anything in particular. Just actually, do you guys, like, this has been floated around as well that we need to sign another centre back. So I don't know how you guys feel about that. I think as long as no one leaves, I think it should be fine.
Yeah.
But
so that's the thing. So somebody else was saying, like, I think it was you too, Luke. You were saying that why are we even talking about selling Anderson? And again, why are we even talking about selling Diop? Why are we talking about selling these players? Well, if you look at Diop, Rice, and Anderson, especially, or anybody else like that, who would you most want to get rid of? You know what I'm saying? Or I'm sorry, how do I put that? Out of all of them, if you could only give away one of them, and you had to give away one of them, for some money and get money in return, who would you do? Obviously, Anderson is the one that people would be like, okay, well, see you later, bye. They'd rather have Anderson. I'm sorry, Rice. So.
Yeah, do you know what? It's weird because Diop has the potential, and this is what kind of annoyed me with Balbuena, because when him and Balbuena were playing last season, for their first season at the club, they were brilliant. They were like a brick wall compared to what most centre-backs we've had in the past. And since Balbuena came back from the summer tournament with Paraguay, he's been a different player, and Ogbonna's taken over that form, and Ogbonna's been the rock at the back. Ogbonna has never ever been West Ham's rock at the back. He's had a weird season, he's had a brilliant season, and fair play to him. But I wish he could have been like this. Just signed him. He's decided to do it this season and not been much cop before that. But I think we need to sign a new centre back. I mean, if one of those three centre backs gets injured, who else we got to take over? Yeah, okay, Rice can fill in at the back, which is fair enough. But then you're leaving the hole in the midfield again. Even though obviously I've given Anderson higher praise, if it was down to the three of them, I'd have to give Anderson, because he doesn't produce consistently enough, which is the problem. Whereas Rice does, and I think Diop's got too much potential. He's 23-year-old centre back. He's going to be a future for me. He's been touted before he even come to West Ham as a future France captain. So I'd have to keep Diop and Rice for me, and Anderson, I wouldn't want to get rid of him, but if I had to, it has to be Anderson.
Well,
yeah, I mean, I suppose I assume we're not going to see Reed in the West Ham shirt again, so that leaves Balbuena really as your backup, and we obviously would need, like you say, Luke, if we get some injuries, we're going to need some more than that. And I suppose a lot might depend on Cardoso and how he's developing in the under-23s, because he came in with quite a lot of hype. That this kid was really, really good. So if Cardoso is developing as we hoped, down in the under-23s, then maybe next season is the time to have him on the bench and say, all right, we're going to let you cut your teeth with the first team squad and get the experience, and you'll probably get some minutes.
I'm all for the youth, and same thing with like everybody was talking about, we don't need strikers, we got Xande Silva, and I'm like, well, that dude's injury prone too, so what's up? And say we don't need a right back, we got Ben Johnson in under 23s. I'm like, okay, well, the guy's injury prone again, and then we got Nathan Holland, or we got all these guys down on loans and stuff like that coming back. So yes, Grady, Holland, Trott, all these guys coming back, they'll get a fair crack hopefully. Cullen hopefully gets a fair crack and then whatever preseason we have. Hopefully, there fucking is one. But speaking of fair crack, we are going to do just 2 hammers polls before we leave. We'll make it quick. And one of them is about a fair crack. So basically, out of these guys, which I'll pull up in just a minute, which one didn't get the fair crack? So underrated player from these who may not have got a fair crack at West Ham or was discarded too soon. Now, here's the thing. I don't know what's up with this. I didn't vote on these, and now I guess since the voting has ended, like they automatically show you can't actually do the vote. That's what it is. So basically, you see the winner already, which sucks. But there it is, Joao Mario. But anyway, I want your guys' opinion on who you think out of these underrated players who didn't get a fair crack, who was discarded too soon. Who was your favorite? I guess. Who do you think who would have had the best chance of, doing good? Let's start with Charlie Boy and then go counterclockwise.
I like Mario. If we could have had him, that'd have been smooth, right?
Yeah.
I would have went with that one. Because I don't remember him nothing at all. And the only thing I get to see of him now is him being sexy everywhere else. You know what I'm saying?
That's true. Actually, Feghouli was damn sexy away from us as well. But again, that's the Turkish league, but still.
Mario's nice though, man. Woo.
Luke, what do you think?
Do you know what? I was never a massive fan of Mario when he was at the club. He just started to produce towards the end of the season, and he didn't want to come. He didn't want to stay at West Ham. That's what he came out and said. He said he wasn't bothered. He came to West Ham. He'd done his job and come back, and he wasn't impressed by the furore about the Premier League and West Ham. He was like, yeah, done it. Come back. I'm happy at where I am now. But those three, Feghouli, Fernandes, and Zarate, I always said that West Ham should have kept him on and sold him. But then apparently Zarate was the one who was like, I don't want to go. I don't fancy being here. But he was a brilliant player, especially last season at Bowling. He was fantastic. Fernandes, I thought, should have been given more of a chance. And Feghouli, how he didn't give him more game time, especially on the right wing, is a joke. But out of all of them, I always thought that Zarate was the one because he was producing goals and he was when Pyatt, I think because Pyatt had about 3 months out, didn't he? And Zarate was sort of taking over and he was the man who's getting goals and assists. So out of all of them, probably be Zarate for me.
All right, Tommy.
Yeah, completely agree. Actually, Luke, I was a big fan of Zarate. I thought he was a really good player. I don't think we should have gotten rid of him when we did. Joao Mario, decent enough player, had something about him. Would have been fine if we'd kept him, longer than we did. But certainly he wasn't a player I had any great fondness for, or I rated, particularly highly. So I didn't mind when we sent him on his way. Feghouli, again, I liked Feghouli. I thought he had good attitude and he always tried. And again, he had a bit about him. But again, another player I thought was limited ability-wise, so I didn't mind when he left. Same with Fernandes. We sent him off to Italy on loan. He did okay there. Again, a tidy little player, but I don't think he's ever going to prove to be any kind of a great player. I think he'll have a decent enough professional career playing in various leagues around Europe, but again, not a loss to us, I don't think. But Zarate, I really liked. He really had something about him. Whenever he came on, he seemed to play well for us. Seemed to bring something to the team. I remember it was that season. Actually, there was a couple of disappointing sales. It was when Bilic came in. He got rid of some players, and a couple of them that I really liked and thought we should have kept. Zarate was one, and the Malfitano was the other one. Yeah. I quite liked Malfitano. I thought he always played really well when he came on. I thought they would be very good squad players for us. So I'm going to, despite the fact he's bottom of the poll here, I'm saying Zarate as well.
I'm going to actually, one of these days, write on a fucking piece of paper, I'm going to write down everything that Bilic got wrong. Every fucking thing. I mean, I will have to buy like multiple notepads for this shit because you're right on about Zarate and Malfitano, and there was people that he sold to that we all know, that never should have sold. And also playing not playing Faguli enough. Like, listen, my pick for this whole list is Faguli. It's because that guy when we signed him, I did my research on him, and I was like, wow, this fucking guy is insane. How he didn't do better for us, but he wanted to. That was the other thing. But just like everything else, Mr. Billich loved to either play people out of position or just when a guy started to get his feet or get his rhythm, his bench him. He wouldn't give him the minutes. Yeah. And that happened so many fucking times. So my pick is Faguli. Yes, I love Joao Mario. I actually got to see him score. He scored against Everton that last home game of the 17-18 season. One of the 3 goals that day. And Zarate, love him too. It's just the deal with Zarate was that he needed to be the guy in his mind. Like, he needed to be the guy. And we had other strikers that were, in and out, working with those, fighting for that position. And he didn't like to share too much, and he wanted to be that guy. And we didn't really play that system, so he went to QPR for a little bit, remember, on loan, and then then we ended up selling him off somewhere. But yeah, I mean, I definitely love Zarate too. Fernandez, I don't have any time for at all. So, but those 3 guys. But my number 1 pick would be Faguli. You were saying something, Luke? I'm sorry, I was cutting you off.
No, it's not. The story behind the Malfitano going was apparently Billich's one of his first training sessions. If I got this right, he told them all to start warming up and stuff. And apparently, when all the other players were sprinting, Malfitano was just jogging. And apparently Billich went to him, "Can you sprint with the rest of the team, please?" And then Malfitano went, "No one tells me what to do. I do my own thing." And then Billich went right out the door.
I know they had a falling out, but that seems unlikely. That seems unlikely.
You never know. That's funny. That'll be funny.
It could be bullshit, but it's the only thing I've heard about it. Could be bullshit.
All right, last one. Last one is actually, is it this one? Wait, hold on. I don't want to do that one. Let's do this one. All right. So basically, with Moyes in charge of our club and for the foreseeable future, do you think we'll reach a cup final in either 1 to 2 seasons, 3 to 5 seasons, 5 to 10 seasons, or not a chance? Look at that, not a chance. Jesus Christ. Let's start with Tommy. Go down.
No, I'd never say not a chance. It's a cup. It's a knockout competition. There's always a chance, as long as the manager takes it seriously. And Moyes did do that. So, we have to give him some credit for that much. He did seem to take the cup seriously and want to win those games. So I wouldn't say not a chance. It says with Moyes in charge. He's the notion that he'll be there for 3 to 5 years seems unlikely to me. So
you stole my answer, Tom.
Sorry, but if he's going to do it, he's going to have to do it in 1 or 2. So that seems possibly unlikely. But we're going to make a cup final. No, I think it's kind of a double-edged question. I want to say 5 to 10 because it gives us a more reasonable amount of time to try and make a cup final. But Moyes ain't going to be there for 5 to 10, so it kind of makes the question moot, So I'll just say 5 to 10 because obviously the more amount of time you give yourself to make a cup final, the better chance you have. But it's definitely not a chance. There's always a chance.
Yeah, Luke.
I'd love it to be 1 to 2. I could possibly see it being 3 to 5, and Moyes will be jobless, drinking iron brew back in Scotland if it's 5 to 10 years. So I'd say 3 to 5.
All right, Charlie.
I say in 3 to 5 seasons, Nolan will be the guy that gets us to the cup. Because he's not gonna he's not lasting no fucking 3 more seasons. He might not even, by the time we finish this season, he might not be the next season, right? They might write off like 5 months of his deal and say, because they didn't even want to give him the 18 months, right? Remember that? He pushed him for that because he had the leverage.
Yeah.
So, but I would hope so. You know what I mean? Hopefully he's John Blazing out there and you know what I mean? I don't know, man. Any coach for us to last 3 years for us in this modern day age, how shit goes.
So
And I mean, it seems
bastard. So basically,
can you imagine? Sorry, Tim. Can you imagine the change in status among the fan base if he won the FA Cup with West Ham? I mean, he'd go from someone we think is just this very average manager who won't be here for very long to just cult hero for the club who won the FA Cup.
But you see how I did that like a statesman, political? I was like, he ain't going to do it, but Nolan will in the 3. See what I'm saying? So that way everybody's happy. Yeah. See what I'm saying? That's
so
how you gotta...
Doesn't Moyes have that disease that you age like 10 years every year or something like that? Because the guy, I don't even know if he's going to be around in 3 to 5 years, poor guy. I hope he is. He seems like a nice enough guy.
West Ham, you do. Managing West Ham, you age about 40.
But here's the thing. My answer was going to be Moyes is going to be the manager as long as the board is here. I'm not joking. And I mean, he's the cheap option. He's, and plus they were so used to holding on to guys too long. You know what I'm saying? And I think that now that they have him, I think that they would actually do that so long as he kept us up every year. They would pull an Allardyce with him, and give him 4 years. But I don't know. Now that you mentioned Nolan, I mean, that was my choice before Moyes even got signed. I wanted Nolan was one of the guys that I really wanted because of his passion. How he's managed before. Oh, but he's only managed League Two and blah, blah, blah. I mean, no, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's fucking managed, and he's a bastard, and he won't put up with shit. And he knows the club, and he loves the club. And I think he'll be a great manager one day. And he's shown that on the sidelines this year already. I mean, the few matches he was with us, you could see him on the sidelines talking to the players, getting up in people's faces, and getting off. Standing up, not just sitting down in those fucking Lamborghini chairs. You know what I'm saying? He was doing his thing.
Did you hear the story about Nolan at Notts County? Again, this might be bullshit, but I've heard this from a good source. Apparently, his end of season ball, and all the players having a drink. Apparently, he was just pissed off by how the season had gone or something like that, or with certain players who were getting drunk and having a good time. And suddenly, he just went, right, everyone shut up. He was pissed. Apparently, it just went, your shit, and your shit. You haven't performed at all this season. You've made so many mistakes. Just pinpointed like 3 players at the
I could actually believe that. I don't know if that's true, but I actually believe that. I could see him doing that, and that's the type of guy that we need. You know what I mean? Or at least someone who knows the game, has been there, done that, and he's working under Moyes, hopefully learning something. I don't know what he learned from Moyes, but he's learning something hopefully. And I definitely see him as our manager over the next 3 to 5 seasons. Yeah. I would hope so, but again, it's not always what we want. We always get the fucking shit end usually. That would be the logical choice, and then they'll go and sign some fucking Lamucci who fucking did something somewhere in some other country and comes in here, and Kiko Flores and whoever the fuck he is, and does jack shit, and gets us relegated. So I would love Kevin Nolan as our manager. But anyway, on that note, guys and girls in the chat room, thank you so much for tonight. Really appreciate that. Yeah. What the fuck? Charlie says you'll take manager from League Two, but not a goal scorer from League One. I would take Ivan Toney. I told you that already a couple episodes ago. Remember, 24 goals in League One. I take him. Anyway, thanks to Charlie Boy joining me tonight. Really appreciate it, Luke. I love having you on. Irish Tommy, same deal. Love having you on. Can't wait to see you tomorrow on the show with Katie and Gina. Friday Night Legs semifinals. So guys, check that out. 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 8:30 in the UK. And thanks everybody in the chat room. Sorry I wasn't pulling up everybody's comments, but I couldn't keep up with it, man. I just couldn't keep up with all the comments tonight. So that's a good thing. Thank you so much for being there tonight. And please be there tomorrow. Hopefully we'll have a show tomorrow night, Sunday night. I definitely have a show Monday night. Another AHTV and Friends, I guess. Yeah, so check it out. So click the subscribe button and click the like button if you like this. And we'll see you tomorrow. And I'll talk to you guys off the air real quick, okay?